The average 30-year-old in America is struggling financially, and today I'm going to share some stats with all of you. Let's start off with the first one. The median net worth for people in America under the age of 35, do you guys know what it is? It's close to $39,000. Just let that sink in. There's no wonder why people can't retire when they're 60 or 65, let alone retire early, if the median net worth for people under 35 is only $39,000. And I want you guys to keep in mind that 39,000 is just the median. So half of people under the age of 35 have a net worth greater than 39,000 and half have a net worth under 39,000. A lot of people with student loans have a negative net worth, which is really affecting people's ability to save. And according to Bankrate, the average person under the age of 35 only has about $20,000 in their savings account. That's telling me that people under the age of 35 are not budgeting, they're not saving at a rate that they should be, because the reality is, if you only have $20,000 in savings at 35 years old, you're really not setting yourself up for early retirement, and that's what we focus on this channel, early retirement through cash flowing assets like stocks and like real estate. And this is another wild stat. According to Bankrate, the average person in their 30s has about $6,000 in credit card debt. Just think about that, $6,000 in credit card debt. That's overwhelming, to be honest. And 1/3 of Americans have more in credit card debt than they do in savings. And I understand that it is hard out there because 30s typically the time when people start families, they have more expenses. But guys, that amount of debt, that amount of credit card debt, that low savings rate is telling me that the average person in their 30s is not being disciplined with their budget. They're not allocating money properly and they're overspending. In fact, guys, here's another stat. The average 30-year-old is spending about $20,000 a year, it's $19,000, on things that they just don't need. Coffee, new clothes, new cars, things that they just don't need. And that's even higher for a lot of people, I know at least, in their 30s. $20,000 a year on things that they don't need. Just imagine if they took that money and stocked it in their retirement accounts, how much further they would be in their 30s. And for those of you who have been following this channel, you know that I pride myself on investing about 50 to 55% of my pre-tax income. I actually believe that everyone in their 20s and 30s should be investing about 30%, if not more, of their pre-tax income, especially if you want to retire early. Another thing I think that's killing 30-year-olds' ability to save and invest money, guys, other than credit card debt, is student loans. Because the average 30-year-old, do you know how much in student loans they have? It's close to $30,000, and that's just the average. You hear people call into the Ramsey show all the time if they're dentists or they're doctors, and they're in $300,000, $400,000 worth of student loan debt. That is absolutely nuts. A lot of times if you make the minimum payments, it's not even beating the interest rate on those loans. That is just crazy to me, but $30,000 is the average. And with that comes monthly payments that are really hurting people's ability to save and invest. And on the topic of saving and investing, this was one that actually really shocked me. According to the IRS, only about 10%, 1 in 10 30-year-olds are investing in a Roth IRA to the max every single year. And in 2026, that's $7,500. And they're not taking advantage of that tax-free growth that you get over time and compounding interest. That actually really shocked me. I would have guessed 30% are taking advantage, but no, it's only 10% are maxing out their Roth IRA every single year. And additionally, 50% of 30-year-olds report living paycheck to paycheck. That one's not really super surprising to me, but maxing out the Roth IRA, only 10% of 30-year-olds doing that actually was surprising. And this is the last stat that I'll share, guys. Only 15% of people in their 30s are receiving some sort of passive income. What is passive income? Dividends, rents, royalties. Only 15% of people are getting that in their 30s. Just think about how low that is. This is a big topic that we talk about on this channel. For those of you who know, my goal is to reach $10,000 per month in passive income by the time I'm 40 years old. And I want to do this primarily through cash flowing real estate, but through also dividend stocks. And the fact that only 15% of 30-year-olds are starting on this passive income process is pretty alarming, and I don't think that's a great sign. And I am an optimist by nature, and this channel is about investing, so I don't want to be all negative, but I did want to share some of these stats so you can compare yourself and see where you're at. But I will encourage you, if you're in your 20s, I'm 26 right now, or if you're in your 30s, you can always turn it around. So I would encourage you to save and invest every single month. Even if you have to start with 5-10% of your income, that's better than nothing. Work your way up to 30 plus, and I'm telling you, you will improve your financial situation. You can overcome anything, guys, and you can live the life of your dreams and achieve financial freedom. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hit subscribe. I'm out.